My name is Artie Jones, and I serve as the Economic Development Director and the Executive Director of Clearly College Park, which is the Business Industrial Development Authority for the City of College Park. And I'd like to welcome Wade Elmore here visiting with us on today.
Thank you, Artie. Good morning.
One thing that I would like to get from you first and foremost is kind of your official title and exactly what you are responsible for at the City of College Park.
Okay. My name is Wade Elmore. I'm the Fire Chief of the College Park Fire Department. My responsibilities is I manage our department of 73 employees, men and women. I've been doing this now for 27 years. I've been the chief of City of College Park for the last going on 7 years. And like I said, been in the fire service for the last 27 years.
Just looking at you, you don't look like you've been doing anything for like 27 years. Look like you like fresh out of college.
Oh, I wish. Right now, I'm 57 years old and enjoying it. You know, and I'm like I said, over the last 27 years, I've been doing something that I really enjoy. It's just not a job. I have a passion for it, always had a passion for it. And I think when you enjoy what you're doing, life is good to you.
Okay, cool. Well, tell me a little bit about your background, kind of where you grew up, and, a little bit about your family.
Okay. Grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana. It was six of us, with my mother and father, and I was graduated from Tulane University in 1985, and Tulane, the Green Wave, that's
okay.
Right. And from there, in 1986, I moved here to Georgia and became office manager with RGR Nabisco. It's when they moved their corporate headquarters here to Atlanta. Did that for about 4 years. They went through a leverage buyout in, I think it was 1989. And I didn't make the cut and wound up getting on with an actuarial company called Hughes Associates. And was office manager there for about 2 years. And I wanted to find something stable. And in the back of my mind, I've always wanted to get involved in public safety, whether it's fire department or police department. Mm-hmm. And during that time, Fulton County was hiring firefighters. And I applied. And lo and behold, was hired there in 1991.
Okay.
And enjoyed it, worked my way up through the ranks, and worked in various positions within the fire department. And I think that helped to prepare me for where I am today. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you said you were at Tulane University. I mean, what I've heard is that, you had a pretty good arm.
I would say so, and other people would think so. But yes, I played football there. Lettered 3 years at Tulane. Position was a quarterback. And,
quarterback?
Yes. As a matter of fact, when I went there in 1980, I was the second African-American quarterback at Tulane. And had some pretty good years and went to a few bowl games. And I would say my sophomore year, I messed up my rotator's cuff. And I say messed it up, but I took a hit against Georgia Tech, I think. We were playing Georgia Tech and fractured my shoulder and it messed up my rotator's cuff. And from there, I had a redshirt year, and my last year they moved me to tight end. And now I was an athlete, so I could play it all.
Right.
I've been playing it ever since I was 7 or 8 years old. So I enjoyed that. And once I stopped playing football, I realized that I know. Like I said, in the back of my mind, I've always wanted to be a firefighter. So right. ever since I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and I always tell this story. My dad used to take us on drives, Sunday drives, every Sunday. And whenever a fire truck would go by, he'll turn the car around, and we would follow that truck, and where until it arrives at its scene. And that's one of the things that I realized I really wanted to do.
Okay, so that's great. Some fond memories of you knew from pretty much day one that you wanted to be.
Yes.
Yeah, unlike myself, I had no idea that I was going to end up in economic development, but here I am.
There you are. That's right.
Okay, well, cool. All right. Well, so how long have you been with the city of College Park?
I've been with the city of College Park now 13 years. When I came here as a deputy fire chief. And within a year, the first chief left, and I was placed in the interim fire chief's position.
Yeah.
I was in that role for about 14 months, and they hired another chief, and he stayed for about a year. And when he left, they put me back in the interim chief's position. And as a matter of fact, there was another chief who was hired. So I was as interim chief, I would say, on 3 different occasions.
Wow.
And like I say, finally, when the city manager, Terrence Moore, when he arrived, mayor and council, they went on and appointed me as the fire chief. And that was about going on 7 years ago.
Okay, so city council finally got it right, huh? Third time around.
I would say so.
You don't have to respond to that.
But I would say so, yes. And I feel it prepared me when I was in the interim positions, and it helped me to become the fire chief I am today.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I grew up playing football also, and you wouldn't really be able to tell from my size and everything. I was an outside linebacker, but one thing I've learned about quarterbacks, it always seemed like they always had the really big head, that they thought they were like God's gift to the sport. But from the 5.5 years that I've known you, you seem to be a very humble individual, a humble person. Grew up in a pretty big sized family. You seem to be, you're a family man. I've met your daughters on occasion, working out in the gym over at the public safety complex. So I know that they really they look up to you. How do you find time to be able to do it all? I mean, you are the person that I hope that I never have to call upon.
Yes.
Because it's, it may be a car accident, it might be a home fire, it might be some other emergency on a field, but I'm happy that you're there. So what things keep you up at night when you maybe not at, the public safety complex?
Well, I'll tell you, my main concern is the health and safety of my firefighters. If you look around here, especially here in the city of College Park, there's so much potential. I mean, we have a CSX train that goes through the city at least 4 or 5 times a day, carrying just about all kinds of hazards. We have, over 35 hotels here in the city, high-rise hotels. We have the airport has the jet fuel line that goes through College Park to the airport. We have a number of companies that's in the city that carries all types of hazards. So those are some of the things that keep me up at night, especially when my guys are responding, and I'm sorry for saying guys, ladies and gentlemen, when they are responding to calls on the expressway, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on motor vehicle accidents. That's a very dangerous area. I mean, it's dark out there. Even though we have our flashing lights, the police have their flashing lights, it's still dangerous out there because, you have people telling what's on their mind. Could have been out drinking or whatever. A lot of people don't pay attention. We've had a lot of close calls, and I'll knock on wood and say close calls. But those are some of the things that keep me up at night.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, tell me a little bit about the facility. Well, first and foremost, the ISO rating. Mm-hmm. Define ISO for me for viewers that are not familiar with that term, and let me know what is College Park's ISO and what does that provide us?
Sure. Well, the ISO is the Insurance Service Office, where they come around periodically every 3 or 4 years and evaluate the city But when they evaluate the city, the fire protection is the main reason they come out. Right now, our ISO rating is a Class 2. And if you look at the scale from 1 to 10, 1 being superior fire service, 10 being the worst, we were at a Class 2, and that's pretty good.
Very impressive.
They look at our facilities. As when we received our last class rating to Class 2, we had 2 fire stations. Now we have 3 fire stations. So hopefully the next time they come around, and they're coming around soon, to evaluate the city again, hopefully that will help drop our ISO rating to a 1. And what that does is it gives the insurance companies a chance to evaluate and provide a fair insurance premium to residents and to companies. It lowers their insurance premiums annually. So that's the benefit of getting a low score. And right now, like I said, our rating is a Class 2.
Given that it's a Class 2 ISO rating, we have 3 stations. The newest station located on West Fayetteville Road.
Right at the intersection of West Fayetteville and Southampton.
Yeah, I've had an opportunity to actually visit that facility, and you guys have it kind of laid out, really nice. But it's kind of like that place is there. Your guys and gals, they're home away from home.
Well, it is, and if you know about the fire service, we work 24-hour shifts. So they come in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they get off 7 o'clock the following morning. Now, once they get off, they're off for 48 hours. So they work one day, they're off for 2 days. They come back in that third day, and so we have to make it comfortable because they have chance to sleep. But here in the city of College Park, I think we have one of the busiest departments. I was in the metro area. Last year, we responded to well over, it was about 7,100 calls. And that's a lot of calls for a department with 2, maybe 3 fire stations.
Wow.
And so it's like we're averaging anywhere from 16 to 20 calls per shift per day. Wow. And but we have to make it comfortable for them. Like you said, they're spending a lot of time away from their families, and a lot of time it kind of wears on you, over time. And but we try to make it as comfortable as possible for them.
Okay, so tell me this: with them being as busy as they are, and how do they have time to kind of keep their skills up to par? Like I said, I know that your guys work out because I've seen them in the gym, but I'm quite sure that they have to go to specialized trainings to be up to date on the latest. And then your guys are not only firemen, but they're paramedics also. So they're first responders. So how do they find time to be able to do it all?
Well, what we do is our training officer, he normally schedules the training. And but you realize we train. We do EMS training because I would say 80 to 85% of the calls we respond to are emergency medical calls. And like you said, we are trained as EMTs and paramedics. Right now, like I said, in our fire department with about 73 personnel, we have about 20 of us that are trained, maybe 22 of us that are trained as paramedics. Now, paramedics are able to provide advanced pre-hospital emergency care to patients. We're able to administer medications that the hospitals can administer to stabilize the patients until they're able to be transported. And like I said, it's just a number of specialized training. We do hazardous materials training. We do pre-fire plans, like we have to, tour and visit all of the businesses within the city of College Park just to see if they are carrying hazards, and we'll mark that down. But also with the new facility, the new arena that they're building, we did familiarize ourselves, had some training over there over the last few weeks. So they are constantly training. And sometimes it's hard because you get calls in between.
Right.
And so the training is not, I would say, consider if we set up a 5-hour training for our personnel, within a half an hour or so, they're going to have to leave out of training and go run a call. Then they'll come back. So And then the state offers a lot of free training down in Forsyth. And so on their days off, they're able to go down to Forsyth and get some training also. So I would say they're not disturbed when they go down there.
Okay. Well, I mean, being a fire department, near the most traveled airport in the world,
Yes.
I know that there are probably some cooperative agreements that are in place. How different is College Park's fire department from ones that you've worked for in the past that are not near the busiest airport in the world?
Well, like I said, there are a lot of hazards here within the city of College Park and around the city of College Park. But the great thing about it, we have mutual aid agreements with the City of Atlanta, the City of Atlanta Airport Fire Division, Clayton County, the City of South Fulton, Union City, and East Point in Hayfield. So we do have mutual aid agreements. So if anything does occur, anything large, major, we have the assistance from those departments and vice versa. And like I said, it's just a number of hazards we have here in the city. That's one of the reasons we have to train the way we do. And my only concern is I just wish we could increase our staffing.
Right.
And because right now our minimum staffing daily is we're at 17 people per shift. And I would like to increase that to at least 26 to 29 per shift.
Right. You've been a practitioner in public safety for 27 years. I've been in economic development for 19 years. Okay. But in my business or my discipline of economic development, I work very closely with public safety and law enforcement.
Yes.
Any business that I'm trying to recruit to the community, they want to know, what type of services do you have to be able to provide, XYZ to my employees? Right. Or what do you have as far as, insurance and things of that nature? But one thing for a business locating within the city of College Park, they want to feel that they are going to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. Your guys are very, very professional. I've met with them on several occasions. I've even seen them respond to various calls, and they're very cordial and they are very understanding. And I feel, in my opinion, they go above and beyond. What have you instilled within the department over your tenure as the fire chief to get your people to respond the way they have? I'm not sure how it was before, but I feel that you probably have a great deal, to do with, the way that they respond currently.
I'll tell you, when I arrived here 13 years ago, and within the first, I would say 6 months, I realized we had a jewel working with our fire department. And I'm not just saying it because I'm the fire chief there. Mm-hmm. But one of the things they do is they treat, and I say customers and the patients, the citizens, as if they are their own family members. So when they respond, they're real caring, and I've responded on numerous calls with them. They're caring. They take care of you just like you are their brother or their sister or their parent. And they're passionate about it. And so we have a great group of firefighters and EMTs, paramedics within the department. And that is something that we strive on, trying to just provide the best customer service as we can.
Yeah. And that customer service, I feel that, like I said, you guys do an excellent job at that. But what type of community outreach do you have? I've seen posted in City Hall, first aid classes.
Yes.
I've seen where you kind of educate people on the utilization of
AEDs.
Yeah, AEDs. So tell us, how can the community get more involved and become more educated and actually kind of an extension of the public safety?
Yes, well, there are a number of programs that we offer. You mentioned CPR. We offer CPR training to the community, to all of the employees of all the businesses here in the city, to all the employees. It's free CPR training that we offer on the 4th. It's the last Saturday of every month. And like I say, it's free. If you want a CPR card, a certification card, I think that's $20, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But over the last 2 years, I know we've trained over 1,200 citizens and employees in CPR. With that, we have a program within the city. It's called Pulse Point, and that is where you download an app on your mobile device or your tablet. And if you're trained in CPR, and if someone is experiencing cardiac arrest within a public area, a restaurant, or park, when 911 is called, you will receive an alert on your phone on that app that's telling you, gives you the location of where the cardiac arrest is happening. So the citizen could respond and perform CPR until the emergency workers get on scene and perform CPR. So early detection of CPR is the key. And that's one of our ways of trying to help citizens who experience goes into cardiac arrest. One of the other programs we have, we've partnered with the American Red Cross, where we receive smoke alarms for residential structures. Okay. And if anyone is interested, mainly seniors, but any residents, single family dwellings within the city of College Park, if you need a smoke alarm, contact the fire department, and we'll come out and install smoke alarms on each floor, whether you have a multi-story home or not. We'll install smoke alarms on each level of your home for free.
Oh, okay. That's a great deal. Great deal. All right. 2 last questions as we wrap up. Tell me this, since you've been in public safety for 27 years, if somebody was interested in getting involved in public safety professionally as a career, what advice would you like to give them?
Well, I would say have a clean, and when I say background, I mean, as kids, we all get into some mischief, but
yeah, I was just talking about some mischief that I was in just before you walked in.
Yes. But what we try to do, we know everybody's not perfect, but we just want you with a clean record. One of the things we find now with a lot of people we try to hire is they have a lot of stuff in their background. Either when they were 16 or 17, they may have been arrested, but it just wasn't at one time. They were arrested multiple times or whatever. Our thing is, stay in school, get your education. We want you with a clean background. We just want you to be an upstanding citizen, and you have to, and especially in police and fire, you have to care about people and you want to be able to assist. And like I said, what our department does is they treat people as their own family members. You have to have that caring attitude.
Right. Okay. And in wrapping up, what would you like to leave with our audience today about the College Park Fire Department in closing?
Well, in closing, I would say our department is here for you. We're here to provide a service. And a lot of people think, as a fire department, we only respond to fires. No. Like I say, we respond to emergency medical calls. And I'm talking about from, people having strokes to diabetic crisis to heart attacks. And you would be surprised. We've had calls where a lady had a newborn. Newborn was crying throughout the night, and she couldn't stop it from crying, so she calls 911. So, I mean, but we are here. Right. And as a matter of fact, we're speaking about newborns. Our stations are what we call safe havens, all of our fire stations. Whereas if a mother feels as though she cannot take care or care for her child, a newborn, up to 30 days, I think, they could just bring the child to the fire station, drop it off, no questions asked, and we'll accept the child and we'll transport it to the hospital and get it checked out. Wow. And that's to keep mothers from just leaving the kids anywhere. Right. So, but we are here to provide a service. Fire EMS. Like I said, we're here to protect and serve. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, it just sounds like that if you're going to work in public safety, you need to have a big heart.
That's correct. That is
big
it.
heart. All right. Well, Chief Wade Elmore, thank you so much for coming and visiting with us today. And also, if you could, just please provide your contact information if anybody would have any questions
Sure.
about wanting to become involved in some of the CPR classes, first aid, anything.
Okay. Our location is 3737 College Street. That's College Park, Georgia, 30337. The phone number is 404-766-8248. Dial that number 24 hours a day. Someone will assist you in whatever needs you have.
All right. Well, thanks, Chief Elmore.
You're welcome. Thank
All
you.
right. I'd like to thank everyone for their attention. And this is coming from Clearly College Park, the Business and Industrial Development Authority for the City of College Park, where you will land in plain sight.